Alright guys, so today we're going to be learning on argumentative essays, and we're going to start this off with watching a video.
We speak student.
Argument essay, a la Schmoop. Is Bieber's hair more awesome than Cousin It's? Should weekends be extended to 4 days instead of the measly 2 we currently have? Are dogs better than cats?
Say cats are better.
No matter how you answered any of these questions, you're already in the thick of an argument. And hopefully you didn't tick off any cats in the process. They are unforgiving creatures. In writing, arguing has nothing to do with the decibel level of your voice. You're wrong. An argument essay persuades your readers to make a change. This change could be a mental change, a different way of thinking, or an actual change in a policy or practice. It's wide open. Here's a classic example. I'm 16 years old and I just got my driver's license. Therefore, I'm clearly more than capable of driving your new Porsche Turbo. Try saying that to one of your parents and he or she will probably say, yeah, right. But give them evidence and support your claim. Show them how you can drive in reverse in a straight line for 100 feet and parallel park a Hummer into a parking spot meant for motorcycles, and you just might succeed in changing their mind. So when you're presenting an argument, your reader must see things from your point of view. You can't let them just brush it off because they don't agree with you right off the bat. It's on you to persuade them by providing support for your arguments and effectively shooting down any potential counter-arguments. All through it, keep your tone civil and polite, or your reader will toss aside your paper. So how is this puppy organized? You've got your intro, a thesis that states your overall opinion. The body of the essay will have your supporting points, and finally your conclusion in which you wrap things up neatly. If that seems like a bit much, don't panic. Schmoop's writing guide has help and more info on these terms. The argument essay is the most important kind of academic paper because most essays have an element of argumentation, even if it isn't immediately obvious. After all, why are you writing anything at all if it isn't to convince someone of something? The personal statement that you will be writing to get into college? It's an argument that you're awesome. That long Facebook status you just posted about how Taken 2 is the best movie of all time? That's right, you're trying to persuade your reader that the oft-derided film is in fact misunderstood. If you're going to turn anyone to your side in this instance, though, let's hope you have a very particular set of skills. See what we mean? Now go on, argue. We can see you're chomping at the bit.
Alright guys, so
We speak student.
alright, next we're going to move in and go over the parts of an essay. So we have our introduction. So remember, whenever we're doing our introduction, we need to make sure we have a thesis statement. In that thesis statement, we have to say what our paper is for or against. For your argumentative essays, you need to at least have 2 to 3 supporting points. Remember, with these supporting points, we need to make sure we're putting evidence that has support. So this can be your own thoughts, but it needs to be logical. It can't just always be opinionated. These need to be logical supporting points. This is a place where you could also include other articles if you're citing anything like that. You also need to include a counter argument. So that counter argument will be something for the other side, but you need to be able to see why it's not a good idea. And lastly, put your conclusion. So that conclusion that you're going to put is going to be basically restating to your audience why your argument is valid. Okay, so we're going to take a look at this argumentative essay. Just type in the chat whenever you are done reading this. All right. All right, so what was the main point of this argument? Yes, schools should let students have phones, is what it was stating. Can any of y'all give what some of the supporting arguments were? Awesome. And lastly, what was the counter argument for this? Yep, truancy happened before, so the fact we have phones isn't really going to change it. All right, so I want y'all to go onto our Google Classroom, and in there you will see a Google Doc. It's on building an argument. So our topic that we're going for is, should students have homework? So if you think students should have homework in that main idea bubble, you're going to put yes. If you don't, then you're going to put no. So I want you to make sure you're listing 3 reasons on the lines. In those little circles, I want you to give an evidence to back it up. So like in the paper we just read, she said one of her reasons were that plans change. So evidence she put in there is that some parents work and they have to be able to tell their kids if a plan changes. I want you to then list your counter argument. So if someone said yes and I said no, what would one of my reasons be, but why would that reason not be very valid? So lastly, I want you to make sure you have a strong finish. So make sure you go through each one and then click share and submit. Okay, so after they have time to do that, they're going to lastly fill out a 3-2-1 assignment on Google. This should also be listed in your Google Docs. But I want you to put 3 facts you've learned about argumentative essays, 2 questions that you still have, and 1 opinion that you may have over the argumentative essays. So after we do this, I would have them type when they are completed, and I would have some of them share, and maybe we could answer some of the questions that they still have. Lastly, I have a site that if y'all want to go through and look some argumentative essays over, y'all will be writing one soon on your yes or no once I give you some feedback on your arguments. So be prepared to do that and make sure you check some of those videos out.